In the last video, we made the text block for our book journal. And the last thing we did was put a light coating of glue along the spine here. And you can, I don't know if you can see that or not, it's dried clear, which is great. So I've cut 3 pieces of cardboard, 8.75 inches by 6 inches. And the middle piece is 8.5 inches by 0.75 inches. And that's the size of the spine here. I used a pencil and drew a line and then cut the piece, so I know it's what we need. And on all 3 pieces, I've marked where the top is. So I am going to take my text block. Just one last time, I'm going to put all the pieces together to make sure it's a good fit. Just line them up as they would. There's a little bit of extra space there, which is good. A little bit of extra space here, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That looks good. So we'll begin. I have 2 pieces of cardstock for the end pages and 2 pieces of cardstock for the cover pages. So we'll start with making the end pages here. So I'm going to use glue. This is just a tacky glue. And I'm going to, this is the first sheet of our text block. What I'm going to do is glue this piece of cardstock onto the sheet. Then I'm going to fold it, and then this part will be attached to the cover. So let's do that now. So I'm just pouring the glue around the text block sheet here. And as you can see, I've put a piece of wax paper underneath this first page just to prevent it from spilling over the sides. So I'm just taking my brush, and from the center out, I am spreading the glue right to the edge. A little bit in the middle here too. Just spread that around. And I'm going to very carefully line up this piece of cardstock. I've lifted up this page ever so slightly there. And in the corners, along the edge, just trying to match it up as carefully as I can. Because it's glue, there's a little bit of wiggle room there, which is good, so we can get that lined up perfectly. And I'm using my bone folder to straighten that out. It's got glue on it now. And try to remove any bubbles. And there we go. I'm going to fold the cardstock up to match the line there. And press that down. And then I'll do the same to the other side, and then I will let that dry. I have my 2 pieces of cardstock for the cover, And I've lined them up on my mat here, following a line just to keep them straight. This is double-sided tape. And if I can find where it starts, there we go. I'm just going to put a line of tape as close to the edge as I can. There we go. And this tape needs to be cut. There we go. And I am using my bone folder to adhere that tape. Pick off the corner there. There we go. Now carefully, I'm going to attach the other piece, and I want it just enough to overlap that tape. I'm kind of using my hands here at the edge to kind of guide it along there. There we go. Perfect. Bone folder. All right, so there we have the cardstock, which is our cover. So there is the edge there and the edge there, so the edge is on both sides. So when I put my spine down, I definitely want to make sure that that edge is on the spine. So we'll do that now. I've measured this piece. I've written top on it, so I know where it goes out of the 3. And I'm taking another piece of tape. Double-sided tape. And pick that up. And I'm going to set this down, top at the top, right along this, so this fold here, this crease, is not on one side or the other. It's sort of right in the middle, if you can understand what I'm trying to say there. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn my cutting mat around, work side to side here. I'm going to line that up again. Just helps visually to make things straight. There's the top and the top pieces. So I don't want these 2 pieces to be abutted to each other, because you need to have a little bit of space to have some movement for the book. So I'm just using my ruler here and making sort of an eighth of an inch gap there. Taking my pencil, I'm drawing a line. And because it's black and I use a pencil, I can actually see the line. There we go. And I'll do the same on this side. And gently take that ruler away and draw a line. I go around the corner just so I can see what I can see where I am there. I'm taking the ruler and I'm drawing a line at the bottom here that matches these 2 lines that I just drew. So now I have a visual to properly line these 2 pieces up. Just a little way to keep things lined up properly. So now I'll be turning these pieces over, right and left, and I'm going to add tape on all 4 sides. Doesn't have to be right at the edge necessarily. I'm going to go over what I've just done with my bone folder, just to make sure it sticks well. Okay, so turning this over again, and the side that faces the spine, I'm going to take that tape right off. The other three, I'm going to pick up the tape and make a little tab. And I'm actually giving a little pressure there to keep the tabs on the outside, facing the outside. Okay, and what I'm going to do is line this up. This is the side that has the tape released. Hold the tabs here, and I'm going to line that up in the corner here and along the bottom line. And set that down. Give that a little push. And then I'm going to release the rest of the tape because I know that's in a good spot there. And then give that a little pressure. And go on to the next piece. Same thing again. This that's along the edge of the spine, I'm going to take that right off. Then the other three sides, I'm going to make a little tab. That one doesn't want to let go. Here we go. Okay, I'm holding onto the tabs, making sure top is at the top. And I'm going to line that up along the spine here. Watching that alignment at the bottom. Need to move that a little bit closer. There we go. And releasing the other three pieces of tape. And I'm going to go over that with my bone folder. So we need to crop the corners to make a nice edge on the corner there. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to lay it along here at an angle, like a 90-degree angle here. I'll just take my pencil and draw a line. So we want it to come out a little bit from the edge there, just about 1/8 of an inch, which is the width of my ruler. Okay, now I'm going to cut those corners off. I don't want it right at the edge because then the cardboard will show through. So we don't want that. So now we are going to bring these flaps over onto the cardboard so it covers all around the edges. And to do that, I just take my bone folder. I'm just going to gently fold that over. Make sure everything is where it should be here. It's nice and straight. Do that on the opposite side. Okay, looking good. Now for the corners, there's a little bit of excess there, and I'm just going to put my fingernail down there so that it folds over and makes a little pocket. I want it right at the edge there. Perfect. It's a little bit stiff here, so I'm going to just take a little cut out here. I'm not going right to the cardboard there. So I'm just taking a little tuck out there to make it a little more flexible. That's better. There, that can go all the way now. So I didn't go all the way in here. Otherwise you'd see the cardboard through that, and we don't want that. And I'm just working it a bit here so it's not so stiff. Okay, and I think I'll cut that out before I try to fold it this time. Okay, and this side we'll do the same thing, just using my nail in there. I'm trying to fold this all as one piece here so it doesn't tear where I've made the cuts. The corner again. Just play with that a little bit, nice and gently. If you need a little bit more help, you could lift it up and bend it over against the board there. It makes a nicer straight edge. Sorry, I know it's probably, the camera's going crazy with the focus here. And I'm just doing that to all four sides. Okay, back to the top. That looks good. I think that's going to work quite well. No tears. Good stuff. Okay. So we need to stick these flaps down. So I'm going to add some tape. I'm going to take one piece all the way along the top here. And it doesn't have to be right at the edge. I actually bring it out just a little bit away from the edge, about 1/8 of an inch. Same thing on this side. We don't overlap the double-sided tape, otherwise we won't, oops, that's way out of alignment, but it's still okay. It's underneath the flap. If you overlap the tape, it won't, you won't be able to take off the backing. Press that down. Okay, one more time. I'm just going to double check everything's underneath. Oh, not too much there, but it's okay. That's where the end pages attach. Okay, time to release the tape and get those pieces folded down. What I usually do is take a little bit of glue, just a little dab, if I can get this coming out here, in each corner where the two pieces are going to fold over. Just gives a little extra support. Perfect. Okay. Let's release the tape. Sorry, my chair is squeaky today. Okay, I'm going to do it in the order that I had done it, the folding. And you have to be careful because once the tape grabs, that's it. You won't be able to move it. So I'm going to start with this edge here. I'll use my bone folder to fold it. And press it down. I'll do the other side the same. See, the glue is oozing out a bit, which is good. That'll be able to grab the side there. Okay, I'm pretty sure the corners are folded in, but just give them a little extra support there without getting glue on your bone folder. Okay, I'm going to take this whole piece right over. And give it a good press down. A little bit of pressure there. I'm going to use my finger and just slightly go over the corner again. This has a little bit of glue oozing out. Okay, we'll do the next edge along here. All in one piece if I can. There we go. Okay, a little bit of extra pressure on the corner. Right off any of the extra glue. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to gently sort of work that cover. I don't want to close it right away because it could break. Just put my bone folder there and gently work it to close position. And there we have a cover. Put a little bit of glue on it. Black hides it quite well. That's why I use a lot of black. Okay, and so this is the top here. Okay, let's see how this text block fits in with our newly made cover. Just trying to center that a bit more. Looks good, lots of clearance on all sides. Okay, so I'm just going to open that up again. And this is the end cover, and this is what's going to attach to this, but we do not put any glue or tape or anything on the spine. That way it can move. It doesn't stick. And that way it can open and close. If you glue the spine, it won't be able to do that, as I've learned from experience. Okay, so I'm going to center it. I'm trying to push the spine this way to make sure that it's right against it. It's a little off center there. Okay. Don't worry about any pieces of glue on here. We're gonna cover this up with some pretty paper. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna take my tape and I will put that on the end page. I'm trying to get it right at the edge there as best I can and not go over. I'm also trying not to move the text block on the cover because I got it in a good position. So I'm trying to keep that. And I will add a piece of tape down the middle, just for a little extra support. Okay, press that down with my bone folder. And it's moved a little bit, so I'm going, before I take the tape off, I'm going to make sure that's in the right place. Nothing sticking out, nice and square. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to take this piece of tape off, which is closest to the spine, but I'm going to leave a tab here and here, top and bottom. I will release this tape if I can get a hold of it. Whoops, now I've moved the whole thing. Okay, that does happen. And I'm going to release, well, maybe I won't release that whole one. So I'm going to bring the cover, I've got my hand underneath, I'm going to bring the cover and the spine up and just fold over. Okay, just making a double check. Yep, looks good. Hey, please join me in the next video in this series. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Head on over to my website, yesimadeitmyself.com, for tutorials on making tote bags, scarves, jewelry, wreaths, and more. Thanks for watching.